Welcome to The Explainer. So, today we're tackling a really big idea. What if the universe and its creator weren't two separate things? We're going to explore this ancient cosmological model that actually describes how they both burst into existence from a state of pure chaotic potential. Okay, so let's start with an analogy. Before Mendeleev came along with the periodic table, all the chemical elements just seemed like this random, chaotic jumble. But he saw the hidden pattern, right? The law underneath it all. Well, the philosophy we're diving into today says the universe works the exact same way. What looks to us like total chaos is actually a deep, profound order that we just haven't understood yet. And this, of course, brings us to one of the biggest questions you can possibly ask. It's a question that kind of breaks our brains because it's outside our normal ideas of time and space. In this explainer, we're going to follow the trail, all the way from that absolute nothingness right up to the conscious, vibrant reality that we're all living in right now. So here's how we're going to trace that journey in 5 parts. We'll start with the cosmic blueprint, then we'll explore that void that existed before anything else. After that, we'll witness the birth of a creator. And finally, we'll watch as the entire universe unfold according to a kind of cosmic code.
All right, first up, the cosmic blueprint. See, according to this way of thinking, the creation of, well, everything, it wasn't some random accident. Nope, it followed a very specific, step-by-step logical process.
And here it is. This is basically the entire roadmap of creation, all laid out in a single sequence. You can think of it like a cosmic genealogy. Just look at how it starts from one single, unified source, and then it logically divides and subdivides, getting more and more complex at each stage, until boom, you get to all things. We're going to walk through this one step at a time.
So, let's go all the way back to the very, very beginning. Before anything we know existed, there was this state called Wuji. It's often described as a state of absolute potential, but, what does that actually mean? Well, for starters, in the state of Wuji, there's no time. The text explains it like this: time is just a consequence of motion. So if nothing is moving in any kind of predictable, ordered way, then time itself just hasn't started yet.
And, the same thing goes for space. Without any matter to define distances or locations, the whole concept of space is pretty meaningless, right? It's described as totally boundless, without any dimension at all. Which, of course, means no matter. No planets, no stars, not even the absolute tiniest particle. Nothing at all has taken physical form. And this one might be the most profound. There's no spirit, no consciousness. It's a state that exists before all of the concepts we use to define reality. It's just pure, undifferentiated potential. So, and this is the really crucial point, Wuji isn't empty. It's actually the exact opposite. It's the nothingness that contains everything. Just let that sink in for a second. Before our planet, before you, before the entire universe, everything was just held inside this single state of boundless, waiting potential.
And this brings us to the most important moment in this whole story. How does something actually come from this state of absolute formless potential? Well, this is where the creator is born.
So the text asks us to imagine this infinite sea of just random, chaotic energy, a total mess. Then, by what seems like pure chance, a single, tiny point of order appears. And that one little moment of order, it acts like a seed. All the energy around it starts to converge on that point, creating this massive, powerful vortex. This vortex of ordered energy, that's called Taiji. It's the first principle, the very first thing you could point to, a singular point of unified potential that everything else is going to spring from. It's like the entire universe is just holding its breath, a vast reservoir of energy just waiting to be unleashed.
And right here, this brings us to the absolute core idea. In this model, the creator isn't some guy in the sky that builds the universe from the outside. No, the creator is this first moment of order. It's the emergence of that unified potential out of chaos. The birth of order is the birth of the greatest creator.
And this isn't some new idea. Thousands of years ago, the philosopher Lao Tzu wrote about this exact concept, this formless, unified something that was born before heaven and earth. He was describing Tai Chi. Okay, so the creator, this singular point of potential, Taiji, it now exists. And from this one point, the rest of the universe can finally unfold. From the one come the two.
Taiji splits into the two forces, which we all know as yin and yang. And this is the birth of duality. All of a sudden, you've got opposites, positive and negative, movement and stillness, light and dark. But they aren't really separate, right? They're two sides of the same coin. They're the fundamental tension that drives all of reality.
And with the birth of this duality, something absolutely incredible happens. Consciousness awakens. The text describes this as the moment the greatest creator begins its active work. It's not just a point of pure potential anymore. Now, it's a supreme consciousness that intentionally starts to shape the universe. It starts time, it creates space, and it sets the great cycles of life and death into motion.
So, from this fundamental duality of yin and yang, the rest of the universe just unfolds. But it's not random at all. It happens in this structured, almost mathematical progression. It's like a cosmic code is being executed.
In this code, it unfolds in stages. The two forces generate four phenomena. You can think of these as basic states, like the seasons. Those four combine to create the 8 trigrams, which are like the fundamental building blocks of energy. And finally, these 8 blocks combine in every possible way to create the 64 hexagrams. Now, these aren't just symbols. They are described as these 64 cosmic factors that basically act as the source code for every possible change and transformation in the entire universe.
And the text leaves us with this final, really profound thought. When time and space end, original form appears. What could that possibly mean? Maybe it's saying that if we could somehow peek beyond our limited perception of time and space, we would see the true fabric of reality. Or maybe it's a hint that everything, in the end, returns to that timeless, spaceless state of Wuji, right where it all began. It leaves us with a great question to ponder. What is that original form?